The talking points memo is about the Monroe Doctrine. So everybody knows about the Monroe Doctrine, 1823. President James Monroe basically saying to all the European powers, hey, the Western Hemisphere is the United States of America's sphere of influence. You stay out. James Monroe, not particularly a macho man, not particularly a strong president, but here he dug in because they, in Washington, D.C., didn't want Britain coming back, or France, or Spain, or Portugal, or Holland, or whoever setting up shop here. All right, now they couldn't prevent it totally because there were colonies. You know, in South America, every country speaks Spanish except Portugal, except Brazil. They speak Portuguese, right? Why? Because Portugal ran Brazil, and all the other South American countries were run by Spain. And that's where the language difference comes. So Monroe basically said, hold it. We're going to take unilateral action if you get out of line. Now, we have a lot of countries in this hemisphere getting out of line. Enter Donald Trump with the Monroe Doctrine. Very serious. Okay, there are 4 nations that are deeply involved in the drug trafficking. They are Mexico, Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador. And they are killing those nations, millions of people all over the world, and hundreds of thousands here in America over the last 5 years. I'll give you the stats in a moment. So the President of the United States has moved the USS Gerald Ford, our largest strike carrier, to the Caribbean. And he has sent with that aircraft carrier 8 Navy surface ships, okay? 15,000 American troops. And the Air Force based out of Puerto Rico, flying round the clock USF 35 stealth bombers. This is serious business. And he sent in a message to all 4 of those countries, better knock it off. Now, in 2 of the countries, Venezuela, Maduro, and Colombia, it's got a left-wing president, the U.S. intel says those leaders are trafficking drugs. They're making money trafficking drugs. Okay? There's not that accusation against Sheinbaum in Mexico or Obrador before her, although Obrador, I'm telling you, shaky. But Sheinbaum, there is not that accusation. But she will not stand up to the cartels, which control more than 1/3 of the country, outright control it. So there's no police, no military, it's cartels. Sheinbaum does nothing. She's afraid for her own personal safety. If I were her, I'd resign and I'd move someplace else, because you shouldn't be the president of a country if you're afraid of the criminal element. Come on. So it's up to the United States to do something about it, but many Americans don't want to. President Biden had no interest at all in this. None. He helped the drug cartels. He opened the border so they could make more money with the flood of narcotics coming in here, including fentanyl. Biden didn't care. Didn't care what they did. They ran wild for 4 years. Trump cares. And I talked about this with the president one-on-one in a dinner in his first term. And I said, the only way you're going to stop this is using the U.S. military. So President Trump designated the drug cartels as terrorists. That means he doesn't have to get congressional approval to take military action against them. And so far, 22 vessels have been blown out of the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific. 83 people at least dead. Democratic Party doesn't like it. Rand Paul, a Republican senator from Kentucky, doesn't like it. They want due process. Well, it's impossible. Due process doesn't work. It never works when you have international smuggling operations. So you either want to solve the problem or you don't. There's only one way to solve it, and that is to eliminate the terrorists who are running the cartels. And that's what is happening. American homeowners, the FBI has been warning all of us about a type of real estate fraud called title theft. The target, your equity. With just a forged signature, ownership can be transferred out of your name, and without protection in place, you are facing an emotional and financial nightmare. That's why I partner up with Home Title Lock. You can find out today if you are already a victim and protect yourself. Use promo code BILL at HomeTitleLock.com to get a free title history report plus a free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. That's 24/7 monitoring, urgent alerts, and if you are a victim of fraud, they will spend up to $1 million to fix it. Don't be a victim. Protect your equity today. That's HomeTitleLock.com, promo code BILL, or use the link below. That's HomeTitleLock.com, promo code BILL. Now, Americans are very, very slow to catch on. If you go out today after watching this broadcast and you say, hey, what about the Don Roe doctrine? Do you know what's going on? Everybody go, what? What? Because the networks and the cable are too busy reporting about Epstein, what might be there. Oh, yeah. No. Hey, we're setting ourselves up for a military conflict here. Nah. Come on, we ain't going to get Epstein. So the cartels in Mexico, they kill hundreds of thousands of people down there. And nobody is safe. They'll kill the governor and the mayor and the journalists and everybody. And the judges can't sentence them because they'll get killed. And not only do the cartels kill the people, they kill their families. Come on. By the end of 2023, in Venezuela, the blood was flowing because Maduro was, according to U.S. intel, working with the drug cartels. It was murder after murder after murder, and none of them solved. And the same thing in Colombia. Colombia, a country on the Caribbean Sea, all right, and then it does have a Pacific port. They get $15 billion. $15 billion a year they make from drug trafficking in Colombia. Ecuador has the highest murder rate in the Western Hemisphere. Did you know that? It once peaceful country, Galapagos, right off Guayaquil, now murder all everywhere. Okay, so that's where we are. And in America itself, we Americans spend more than $100 billion a year on illegal narcotics. $100 billion. We are the problem. We are enriching the cartels. 500,000 Americans at least have died from drug overdoses in the past 5 years. 500,000. Okay? And still, nothing being done about it. Some dealers are put in jail. Some. Not here in New York City. You can sell heroin on the street. You won't get anything. Drug addicts run wild. They sit there and inject themselves in front of school children. They steal. They shoplift. They prostitute themselves. They're homeless. Most of the homeless are drug addicted. They ruin neighborhoods. They pollute the environment. Nothing happens to them. Nothing. It used to be America would sanction those drug addicts. But now, progressive left, no, it's a disease. No treatment. Most of the drug addicts, according to every study, don't want treatment. They want to get high. They want to live their lives in a state of inebriation. That's what they want. And if they have to steal, they'll steal. Child abuse and neglect, because many of these drug addicts have children, off the chart. The state do anything once in a while to take the kids away, and then where do the kids go? Some lousy foster home? Because the parents are high? It just drives me nuts, okay? Because this country is responsible for all it is horror. And if you're buying drugs, you are helping the cartel. Okay? So I expect Trump to continue to crack down. He's got 3 years left. He hates this stuff because his brother died of alcoholism, and I've had addiction and alcoholism in my family as well, and I hate this stuff. And I'm glad the president listened to me. When I had that conversation with him in, 6 years ago? So one way, only way. And now it's happening. And that's a memo.